my mind when it gets late. I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me tonight? It's no secret, all my friends already know. There's no reason to hold it back, I let it show. All my feelings, are you thinking about me tonight? Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine, baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. I am taking a mental picture in my mind just to keep this moment till the end of time. 'Cause I know that it might be over after tonight. So before I change my mind, your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine, baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. Baby, sweet, give it to me.
Welcome, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? How's it going, Scam? Congrats on your first show. Who we got here? We got Dr. Steele, Mr. Bennett. Hey, Paul, thank you so much. Who else we got? Oh, we got Mandrell. We're just waiting on my co-host. She's on the way. Hey, Steven. Hey, Steven, thanks. What does everyone think about that show? Dustosphere. That was good stuff. Hey, Shoo Shoo. Thanks, everyone. Hello, hello. Very excited for tonight's show with Big Al. Make sure on your way in, like, subscribe to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Hey, Mandrell. This is what he thought it would be. That's about right. Cannot wait to see what else he comes up with. All right. So, as everyone starts to come in, and my co-host will be joining shortly. Tonight, we're going to be talking about basically taking a look at where you are currently and some changes that you're wanting to make, whether it's losing weight, doesn't have to be, or eating a little bit cleaner. Maybe you want to go from good to great. Wherever you are, we're going to be taking a look. And of course, the mind is going to be involved. That's my specialty. And when Chef Big Al comes in, she is going to share all the details about little things, that you may not realize that you're doing that actually have a big impact on what you're eating and how you look and feel. Let's see, who else we got? Make sure you like and subscribe. All right. So those in the chat, you too, Scam, put something in the chat that you would like to be better at. Something that you want to work on, whether it's dropping a bad habit or creating new habits, whether you want to work out 5 days a week or you just want to walk more, you want to maybe not drink 5 beers a night. I don't know. I don't know what you crazy people do. Let's see what we got. Dr. Steele, creating new habits. What kind of habits? Because it's not only breaking bad habits, but it's also replacing them possibly with new ones. Breaking bad habits is good too, for sure. But what are some new ones too? Let's get specific. What's something that you've been struggling with? And what kind of changes? Everyone has one. What's something? Kind of vulnerable time. Or even things that you've heard people talk about. Look who we got. Hello, hello.
Hello there. Hello.
How are you?
I cannot complain. How are you doing?
I'm good. Oh my gosh. Okay, everyone, welcome Chef Big Al to the family. This is all of our first time well, I met her yesterday, but all of our first time meeting her. So tell us about you, Big Al.
Yes, my name is Big Al. Some people call me Allison. But Al, nonetheless, Al, Allie, whatever. But yes, I am a chef. Mhm. I run a catering business. I do private dining, catering. I do meal preps, uh, all types of jazz, wherever I can get in at. But I have been into food my entire life. I've always loved cooking, and I really like to connect food to family, culture, and health. And all of the recipes that I cook, I try to go as from scratch as possible. Um, I'm using fresh ingredients, healthy ingredients, fruits, vegetables, implementing the things that we need with the things that we want, trying to create that balance. Because it's essential. Health is wealth. So that is my little niche, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, where can people find you?
I am on all, well, not all, but I am on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram under the tag Big Al's Kitchen 313.
Awesome. And just so we can still get to know you some more, what's your favorite thing about what you do?
Um, I definitely think that my favorite thing is just the reactions. It's the reactions from people when they get to eat some of my food because again, it's a lot of love, it's a lot of passion, but it's good ingredients. And a lot of people, I found that it's so many ingredients and food combinations that they have no clue exist. And a lot of the times when I'm providing food from people, this is the first time they're experiencing something that tastes like this. Even if it is a dish that they've known, they haven't had it like this before. And for some people, it's their mom's cooking that they haven't had in forever. I'll never forget, I cooked breakfast for a group of my friends one time, and one of the dudes, he was making his plate, and he kind of just like, he looked like he was just getting so overwhelmed. And I'm like, "You good?" He's like, "I haven't had anybody cook for me like this since my mom passed." And I almost just started crying because I'm like, really? Like, so, people go away for school. Some people, it's just, they're just too busy to cook. People have forgotten how much goes into a home cooked meal and being able to sit at the table and eat around with people that you love, just talk and things of that nature. And after they get through eating, feel good, not like necessarily sluggish or like, huh, I wish I hadn't spent my money on that, or I'm still hungry, or because food is deeper than just what we consume. So I ultimately love just the reactions of people. I love being able to put people on new things and, bring back memories, create new ones. So
Yeah.
that's my
I
favorite part.
and you know exactly what's going in it too. That's something that we were talking about, yesterday.
Right. No
So
mysteries.
yeah, for sure, and that is such a big deal, and that's something that we can start with, when it comes to eating and, what people are consuming in general. Talk a little bit about what you've seen from your customers that maybe they are unaware of that isn't so good, or things that they can swap out, or maybe even the reasons that people have for not cooking. What do you hear, and why is it so important to really pay attention to let's, like, focus on the little thing, like, some of the small things that we just don't even know, but you know.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like we were saying yesterday, it's really just such a broad area when it comes to what we eat. Um, because it's not just as simple as a sandwich. Like, no, you're eating mechanically separated meat and sometimes the lettuce, the fruits and vegetables that we get aren't even real. It's a lot of genetically modified fruits and vegetables that are available now. All of these fruits being sold without seeds in them. Like, how is that even a thing? Because where did it grow from if there's no seeds? So
Mhm.
a lot of things people go over their heads because it's normalized, we're used to it. Usually the foods that are easiest accessible are the foods that can be produced in bulk, um, mass created, and they're not always the best thing for us, but they're cheaper. They're more affordable. Um, and I think when it comes to food and when people do finally decide to cook for themselves, often like they want like crab legs or like lamb chops or like something that is like, yeah, okay, but no. Like this isn't gonna last a week. This is one meal. Um, I can use as an example, I have a cousin at one point in time, she was eating Popeyes every day. She was one of those people that got hooked on the stupid chicken sandwich, and she
Mhm.
was eating Popeyes every day. And I'm like talking to her, and I'm like, "Hey, I know money is tight, and I know you like these chicken sandwiches, but you can literally go to the store and spend $40 and make a pot of spaghetti, have some eggs for breakfast, eggs and toast." I'm like, you can
Mhm.
make this stretch. And she's like, well, the sandwich is only $5. And I'm like, right. But she was buying food for her and her daughter. So I'm like, you're spending $10 to $15 a day times 7 days a week.
Right.
How is that? That's not, once you add it up, you're not
And how full are you too, with some of these things?
exactly
You feel full, after
bloated.
you exactly, you don't feel good. You feel very sluggish. And, I mean, who's not trying to save money at this point? But also, not only it's like it's a no-brainer. You save money and you're eating cleaner and things that are better for you, especially when you're going to the store and you're creating these recipes yourself. Luke Casely says Harvard has made many studies about the mind gut connection. That is huge. Yes, for sure. Um, and I think some of the things that we tell ourselves, like, people have kids, they have jobs, totally get it. But are we considering the fact that, you know, we justify it because it's quick and easy, but then how are you feeling? And maybe you're not, working out or exercising as much as you want to, but you're compounding that fatigue and just that bloat. And we were talking too about the different mental, cognitive, and just emotional health, that can affect in a negative way. But and what are some easy, like, things or something simple that maybe people have in their fridge that they use without even thinking, but it's like actually terrible, but can easily be replaced with something else that is easy and it's not, it's going to taste pretty good, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's see. Because it's funny because I remember when I was younger, before I really started realizing the effects of eating better for yourself, because I've always known I've actually struggled with my weight my entire life. I went to a nutritionist when I was younger. I was borderline diabetic at one point. And my mom made it a point to, you know, understand how important it is to be healthy, and where the root of that starts is in what you're eating, and not just being, physically healthy, but being mentally healthy as well. um but like when I was in college and whatnot, who cares about any of that? We're eating ramen noodles and
Mhm.
frozen White Castle burgers and all this crap.
Mhm.
And I remember, um looking at a picture. I remember one time I was looking at a picture from when I left high school, and I was looking at a picture like after my first half of freshman year.
Mhm.
And they talk about the freshman 15.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, this is not acceptable. And what I
Right.
did was, when I went home for winter break, I stopped drinking pop. And it's crazy because I hate pop now. I can't, no. I stopped drinking pop. I stopped drinking juice. I stopped drinking the sweetened teas. I literally only drank water. I don't think that I changed much else with my diet consciously, but of course, being back at home, you have access to more food options in the fridge than you do at
Mhm.
college. So,
Right.
I wasn't eating ramen noodles every day, but literally I lost like 20 pounds in 2 weeks off of just cutting out the sugars altogether. And
Yeah.
people don't realize, small changes like that, not only are you going to feel better because you're not on this sugar high, but
Mhm.
you're saving
Mhm.
money because pop and juice, that crap adds up. Like,
It
it's
does.
it's
And
not
you're not
even.
drinking water too, you know?
And you're not drinking water. And people, a lot of the times I hear people say, oh, well, I don't like water, which I don't understand that. Like, your
I don't
body is
either.
70% water. You crave water. There's no way that you don't like water. You don't understand how to read the signals of your body because they're all crisscrossed and rewired and addicted to all of these GMOs and preservatives and chemicals that you're consuming in this
Mhm.
food. So, easy changes, get all of that crap out of there. Pops, juice, you really don't need it. And if you want something sweet outside of water,
Yeah.
make a smoothie. Like, people love smoothies. They're so good. Like,
Mhm.
eat a bowl of
Right.
fruit. There are, one of my favorites, I like to mix dragon fruit and lemon into my water.
Ooh.
And it's so refreshing and it's so delicious. Like, people don't realize that they're addicted to these ingredients and these foods. They make
Mhm.
them taste so good so that you will be addicted to them.
Right.
And you kind of have to detox. And once you do, instead of that Mountain Dew, which is like the worst pop that you can even drink, but
Right.
they're not going to want the Mountain Dew anymore. They're not going to want the sugar. You have to literally reset your body and adapt a new lifestyle, and just baby things. My biggest thing I
Yeah.
always tell people when they're trying to do
Mhm.
better, don't buy it. It's very hard
Mhm.
to not eat something when it's accessible in your face, when you don't have to walk out the door to get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't buy it. Just leave it at the store. Just leave it at the
Right.
store. And it doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you have to deprive yourself, because some people think, oh, I can never have cake again. No, you just want to create a balance. You want to create a healthy
Yeah.
balance.
Right.
And maybe not the little Debbie cake. Like, let's go get an
Right.
actual like cake that like is flour and eggs and sugar. Let's get an actual cake. Like,
Right, and you appreciate it so much more too when you put the work in versus just that
yeah.
instant, like, buy it or whatever, and that's something too, you were saying it's that balance. It's like, if you want to cut back on, so this is where I come in as the mind coach basically, is start small. So if you're drinking, 3 pops a day. Yes, gray pill. We say, because you're in the north, she's in Detroit, I'm in Cincinnati. We say pop, or soda if you prefer, or juice or whatever.
Don't come for us.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Swap it out, or not swap it out, but yeah, swap out the word that you want. But maybe cut back. So if you're drinking 3 pops a day, maybe cut back to 2. Or if you're drinking juice with dinner, maybe like double fist with, I have coffee and water. So I always have water with me at all times, and just then you start creating that habit of having it with you. Now, I'm not saying go run a marathon, so just go cut it out entirely, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. You're used to having it. Your brain is used to having it. It's going to want it. So start small. And also another thing with the mindset is Luke Hazley said the beautiful thing about the body is that the younger you are, the better it responds to those small changes. And Gray Pill said, but we're getting older. So now what? Yes, you're older, so maybe it might not be as easy, but that isn't a reason to not try it. If you're telling yourself and believing that you can't do it, or that it's going to be too hard, how likely are you to even cut back? And then you might blame it on your age, when that's not true. And how do we know? Because there's plenty of people older than you that are probably not drinking the same amount or whatever. So just don't use your age as a reason to not try. And you might fail. You might really, what I mean, you might drink a pop when you really didn't want to, or you weren't planning on it. That's okay. Just don't quit, because you're not failing until you quit. Anything, what else do you have, Big
One thing
Al?
too, yeah, with the juice and not necessarily, I don't know if it necessarily works for pop, but one way to start kind of getting yourself off juice is, well, for me, in all honesty, what gets me is reading the nutrition label.
That is
If
a
I start
wake-up
off
call.
with reading the nutrition label, I probably will change my mind before I even get to taste it. But when it comes to juice and things like that, start diluting it, because like right now, if I were to, grab some pop, and like I would be like, oh my gosh, diabetic coma, that is so sweet. Where at one point in
Right.
time, I could drink pop all day, every day.
Right.
My body now is like, girl, what is this? Like, and it's crazy, because you'll start looking at people that are consuming this food, and you're like, oh my gosh, like you get it now, like how the older people used to do to you when you were younger. Like, how are you eating that? Like, how do you eat that? And especially when it comes to age and getting older, that was one of the things that kind of got me to really push into a permanent lifestyle change, as opposed to trying to do a quick fix, or just a diet, or
Right.
something temporary.
Right.
I remember I was training, I had a personal trainer, and one of my close friends at the time and we were like doing this get fit thing. And one day she's like, yeah, how much longer are we gonna be doing this for? Cause like, and I'm like, girl, this is not temporary. Like, this is a lifestyle change. And you have to have the right mindset when you're going into this. It's not punishment. You're literally taking care of your body. You're neglecting it right now. These things that you think that you crave, these things that you think taste good, these things that you think are filling you up, are not. And once you start eating properly, that's the incentive. Even if a lot of people, I feel like, especially with the focus on the media, and the influence that it has on people, everybody's worried about image. Okay, I'm eating right, but I'm not losing weight. Okay, I'm working out, but I'm not losing any weight. I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not losing any weight. It's not working. Da 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 da. But these are people that are like getting on the scale every day. They're falling off every day. They're like, oh,
Right.
well, I can just have this. Well, I can just do this. And then sometimes, the scale is like your worst enemy anyway. That is like,
Mhm.
stay off of it because you're
And it
gonna see the,
dictates your mood. It's like
yeah,
you're literally placing
exactly.
your mood and depending on this piece of whatever material, and it's like, "What?"
Yeah. And it's because it's that I feel like it's so much emphasis put on it in society, period. Um, Especially when it comes to women, who I feel are mainly only accepted in one type of body type, which is this
Mhm.
unrealistic, unattainable body type,
Right.
in most cases. And people don't like to put in work without being guaranteed their return, because they don't want to feel like they're
Right.
wasting time. But I know, there's been several times where, because I've had to start over and over and over again, because it just happens. I feel like Luther Vandross some days, like, girl, what's going on? We up and down, we up and down.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but when I at one point I was doing 2 a days. I was working out, I was weight training, I was eating right, I was drinking a crap ton of water, and the scale wasn't moving, but I felt better. My back wasn't hurting, my knees weren't hurting, my clothes are starting to get loose. So at
Mhm.
one point I'm like, all right, well, forget the scale. Like, I feel better. And if your goal is to literally be a healthier you, then
Mhm.
let everything outside of that fall into place. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you'll see the results, whether it's physically, mentally, but all of the above. But
You
you have
will.
to be patient and you have to commit to it and not look at it, okay, when is this going to be over? Like, how much longer do I have to do this for?
Right.
Forever, for as long as
Right.
you're alive.
'Cause and if people want to, their initial reward can be because we want that we have a, that pleasure reward system, and that we have the desire for sugar, and we've been rewarding that and, feeding into that desire, giving it what it wants by eating the sugar. So you can also have that same system by going to the gym, and if you're, let's say whatever goal it is, and you don't have to make your reward once you finally get there. Your reward can be just going today. And you can
Hmm.
feel that accomplishment and that
Exactly.
achievement from going that day. And you saying too, like how you were feeling better, whatever, maybe the skill didn't change. I've also heard people say that sometimes, like just on the other side of when they're like ready to quit, they're doing all these things, they're doing all the right things. Sometimes just on the other side of that is the change, like the
Hmm.
ultimate, like, you know what I mean? Just don't quit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
This isn't, it's not a sprint. One day at a time, small steps, because that's how we get overwhelmed and we start making
Hmm.
comparisons, and we're kind of mad that we're not where we want to be. Um, and let's see. Okay, because soon everyone in the chat, hello, hello. Let's see,
This
ruled by
comment on
PNS, hey.
sugar, this
Yeah, go
comment on
ahead.
sugar, um, yeah, no, like, sugar is a drug. Like, it's literally a drug. You do get addicted to it. And me being someone who, again, has struggled with my weight all my life, it's it's why it's something that I do my best to avoid, because literally once you get off sugar, because you have to detox from it, um
Mhm.
once you get off of it, it's so easy to get back into it. It's so, because it literally, like, it's literally a drug. It's very much a drug. And a lot of times, people who maybe, don't struggle as much with maintaining a healthy weight or a healthier lifestyle,
Mhm.
they look at people, who do struggle, and they're like, well, just stop, we'll just do this, well, you're just being lazy, like, you're not trying hard enough. And I've had this conversation with even some of my close friends. I'm like, look, first of all, it's not fair to speak on what you don't know. But second
Right.
of all, you have to understand that at this point, we're in our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, whatever. We've been eating these poisons for
Mhm.
decades. Um,
Mhm.
it's not, and you know, when we were kids, before we were doing our own grocery shopping, this is the food that was given to us. So now we have to
Mhm.
understand that this food is not healthy and we shouldn't be eating it. And on top of that, we have to try to detox our bodies off of it,
Mhm.
all while fighting our body craving us, telling us that they want it. So it's literally it's a mental battle, very
Yep.
much as it is physical, as far as, you know, putting the food in your mouth. Like some people, it's levels to it. It's easier for some people, it's more difficult for other people. But that's
Mhm.
where, like you said, it's nothing that's going to happen overnight. You have to be very patient with yourself and realistic with yourself. Again, if you're drinking 3 pops a day
Mhm.
and you don't cook at all, don't say, okay, next week I'm drinking all water and I'm cooking 7 days, because no, you're not. No, you're not.
Right.
You're probably not going to do that. That's not realistic. But to say something like, okay, I'll have 3 bottles of water and only 1 pop, or
Mhm.
I'll add, instead of, you know, candy, I'll have fruit for my snack, or whatever small change you may be in. I'm not going to cook every day, but I'll cook maybe Monday and Wednesday, and it'll be something that
Right.
can stretch over. And instead of McDonald's, I'll go to Panera or something like that. Like, it's small
Right.
changes that you can do to kind of get you moving. And
Yeah.
all you have to do is just like with the gym. You dread going to the gym all day up until the last second before you grab the
Mhm.
door handle. You're trying to get out of it. But as soon as
Mhm.
you get on the treadmill, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. I can do
That is so
this.
true. When I worked at a gym, that's what we said, the hardest exercise in the gym was getting through the front door. And something that I will say, and for everyone watching, we're going to drop the link so you can show up. Won't show up obviously, but you can come up if you have any questions or any comments, whatever. Come on up, and we can all talk. And also in the chat if you have any questions. But one thing I want to leave everyone with is expect that you're going to fail, in the sense of you're going to mess up. You may give in to your urge and you may eat the thing, or you may not go to the gym. It is okay. It happens. Expect that it's going to happen. And when it happens, have a backup plan. Okay, I have this goal. Maybe I'm starting small. Totally good. Hey, I'm going to drink 2 pops instead of 3. Well, I drank 3. What's your backup plan? What are you going to do? Where is your mind going to be? Because you're going to start to feel that shame and that guilt. It's going to be there. And, think about, okay, this doesn't mean that tomorrow I can't get after it. This happened, but I'm still, just as motivated and committed. And tomorrow, just another chance to do it. And the more that you start, developing that language and adopting that language, you're stepping into that identity of the person who does this, the person who just does whatever, habit you're trying to pick up, or the person that doesn't do the thing that you're trying to break, whatever habit. Hopefully that makes sense for people, um, because you're going to mess up. It's totally fine.
Yeah. And even to take it a step further, you know, I feel like a lot of the times, you know, we have one bad meal, or just have like maybe a 30-minute binge session, and then we're like, oh my gosh, like, what did I just do? All right.
Mhm.
And then sometimes we go, all right, well, today, this is going to be my cheat day. Tomorrow, I'm going to get back on track. You don't have to wait until tomorrow.
Yes,
The rest
yes,
of the day,
yes.
you can do great the entire rest of the day. The
Everyone
rest of the
listen to
day can be
this.
your redemption. You know, you don't
Yes.
don't put off today what you can do tomorrow. And I've that has gotten me so much further, because the mentality that I'm gonna sit here and just continue to eat bad the rest of the day, and then tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and be like, all right, cheat day's over.
Right, like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, it's better to turn it around than
Yeah.
to just flush the rest of the day down the drain. And someone has even put, like, a math equation to it. Oh, who we got? Mandrell.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Hey,
Long
yeah.
time no see.
What are they? I know, right, Big Al? How you been?
I can't complain. How are
Hey,
you?
hey, that challenge still on. Bet you, look, we have a bet. I
What's
told
the
Tell
Big
me how
bet?
Al.
that
I
goes.
said, listen, Big Al. Okay, when I saw what she could do, I said, okay, you may have me in the presentation. I'll give you that. Food
Her food,
presentation.
her
All
food looks
right, it
amazing.
does. Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I can't. I can't. I can't compete with that. Nope. It looks too good. I can't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But taste and texture, I bet I whip your ass.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
willing to take that bet. That's the bet. That's the challenge we have. Me and
we
Big
have
Al.
time and opportunity. It's funny he hasn't said anything about it to me until just now.
That
But
was the last time we talked, Big Al.
yeah, we time and opportunity. We just don't put off the day what you can do tomorrow. I'm
Yeah,
ready
Yeah.
when you
he's
are.
always talking trash. Shout out to Brenda. So
Right.
sounds like you're doing some great work. I love that.
But here's my thing. A
Talk to
question
me.
as a personal trainer. One thing I get a lot of is how many calories should they consume per day. So I said, okay, well, listen, stick to around 10 times your body weight. And the first question out of their mouths is, how do I figure that out? I'm like, okay, I take a calculator. I'm like, how much do you weigh? Stand on the scale. I put that weight in. I'll say, okay, times 10 equals. And this is how many calories you eat a day. Now, people take to that and they think that they can eat that amount of calories in McDonald's or Jack in the
Yeah.
Box or whatever. I'm like, no, that kind. So it doesn't matter what I eat as long as I'm having the right amount of calories. No, what you put in your mouth does matter. In fact, that's more important than calorie count.
Hmm.
If you're eating trash food, you know what I'm saying, but 1,000 calories of it,
Yeah, it's like a
come
dirty
on,
bulk type of thing, like people
right?
will bulk and they'll do clean or dirty or whatever. But even with that, it's like
You messing
first
up your bowels, your
Yeah, exactly.
heartburn.
mhm,
All the gut bacteria in there, it's gonna have a reaction to that. That's what causes gas and angina, all kinds of
And
things.
then
That's
everybody gets on these diet teas and these detox pills and furthering destroying their bowel
right,
system
and they don't
when
do
all you
it.
had to do was eat some
It's just
mhm.
eat
doggone
right.
kale.
And like I
All
told
right,
people,
that's much easier than it
what,
seems.
what
Just eat right.
it is.
Well,
But the thing
it
is, people don't know
In
what to eat.
theory,
Yeah,
right.
people do. That's the ultimate
they
problem
don't
is
it
people
yeah,
don't
they
know
don't
what to
know.
eat when it comes to
Well,
eating
Hmm.
right.
the thing is, it's the mental work because, of course, I'm going to say that, but it is because you physically cannot put something in your mouth unless your mind is basically sending messages to do so. And when we're used to eating certain things, we're gonna get defensive when
Yep.
on the other hand, we want to make a change, but we're not used to it. So
I
it's
think
like
what it
also
is,
go ahead.
they people want the change. People want to see the change without actually having to change anything because
Bingo. And
everybody
be
is so
uncomfortable.
comfortable. They're so comfortable.
Yes.
And, even something as small as before you even buy it at the grocery store, look at the nutrition label. I don't think that there's really anybody who cares about themselves that if they read the nutritional label for a lot of the products that they have in their house, that
Mhm.
they would still ethically feel comfortable saying, yes, I'm going to eat this. Yes, I still think
Mhm.
this is good for me. Like half the crap on there, you can't pronounce it, but people don't even want to open up that wormhole. I've literally been around people and they're like, oh, this, just let me eat Allison. Like, don't do this. And I'm like,
But
I'm
cuz
just
you don't want to be
saying,
uncomfortable. It's
I love y'all. And this is not like, come on, like, why are we eating it? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's something we talked about last night is would you rather be uncomfortable now with the way that you feel, maybe the way that you look, maybe the fatigue that you feel just walking up the stairs? Would you rather feel uncomfortable with that or feel uncomfortable making, slight changes and maybe eating something that doesn't taste as good because it doesn't have the same amount of sugar in it or whatever?
Hmm.
Which discomfort would you rather have?
Hmm.
Um Mandrell, can't cook. He burnt a peanut butter and jelly sandwich last week. Mandrell, is that true?
No,
Why are you? Why are you cooking a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Exactly. It makes
How'd you
no
burn
sense.
it?
Well, that's a troll. Okay. I
Oh, is
understand
it?
that. Yeah, that's dust though.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I'm just
he's,
kidding.
he's
Someone
gonna
came in here
troll.
just to lie on you?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And Miguel, once you get big enough in this YouTube space, you become a threat. Okay. And since people are jealous that they can't compete with me, they have to throw out lies because you can't beat me with the truth.
Right. I get it. I get it.
Isn't that right, Coach K?
Yeah, that is right. All right. So everyone,
Her reaction.
you're crazy. Everyone watching, leave a like, leave a comment in the chat. Make sure you subscribe. Send us some love. Send Black Man Unfiltered Network some love. If you want to come up, ask a question, share something, Mandrell Brinklade, hit the link. It's in the chat. Thank you, Miss Jenny. But for now, let's talk to Mandrell. What's something that, and don't say that there isn't, Mandrell. What's something that you want to work on or that you want to be doing better at that you just can't just fix it, can't make the change? What have you been struggling with?
Lower abs.
Okay.
You know how that's like the last place that most people lose fat at. Yeah, I have the washboard abs, right? And then to get the V taper at the bottom, like to really, really pop out. I've been there. It's like I had to get my body fat down so low. I'm like, holy Jesus Christ! I'm in single digits over here. But to maintain single digits, that's in a lot of times isn't healthy.
Yeah.
You know.
So what are you gonna do?
Stick to around 11 or 12.
Okay, so
and be done with it.
So is it a change you want to make or not?
He being realistic with himself. You still, you compromise. You got me in the middle. Maybe 17-year-old Mandrell could did the little
17-year-old. I mean, yes, it was like that.
But there's no sense in beating yourself up about that right now, especially if you feel good and you still working out and everything else is doing what it's supposed to do.
And it still look good, you know what I mean? Still,
okay.
If there's something
on my mama, on my hood.
Like I said, that part there, I was like, why? Why does it just go there? Why does it just go there? Like,
okay, what about? And hey, Freezy, good to see you in the chat. And if I missed anyone else, so sorry.
Also, I'll give you something else. Something I just can't do.
Hey, Black Man.
If I start to eat sweets, like you brought up cakes, right? Much prefer to have homemade cake. Like
for sure.
Store-bought cake for me is disgusting. I don't like it at all.
Right.
I think the best bakery is like Publix, or a place, even places that specialize.
Down south.
I know that's my best friend. She's in Atlanta, so she was like raving about Publix. So I had a sandwich made from there. It was really good. So I know.
Yeah, the best bakery is like Publix or a place that specializes. Even these places that specialize in cupcakes and cakes, you have them, and you're like, I should have just did this. I should have just made it at home.
Yeah, but okay. So what's your? Hey, Freezy, welcome to the conversation.
Thanks. I came up because I heard y'all talking about cake. So
do you struggle with eating too much cake?
I love cakes, cookies, cheesecake,
baked goods. Yeah.
So,
but it's a balance, right? You don't got to eat them every day.
Every day, I need it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
If you preach.
So, Mandrell, do you eat cake every day too? And cookies?
Not every day, no. It's that is the one thing that takes real willpower for me to do.
Willpower runs out though, so you basically have to just
once a week or so. Yeah, like on a Saturday, I'll have like a slice of cake or something like that. And I had to force myself to stop at like 2 slices of cake because I will eat a whole cake. Like if it's
set a
baseline cake,
baseline.
Yeah, I do. If it's a key lime cake, I'm fucking it up. Red
velvet
cake,
baseline. Two bites.
Right. I have to
stop.
Can't
or whatever. Just get a slice. Why are we buying whole cakes at a time?
Well, no, I do buy them by the slice. I do. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'll buy like 2 slices, right? I say, okay, Saturday I'll have this slice. Sunday I'll have the other one.
But
so you're intentional.
Right. You
It's
know, and
cheaper.
some, but there's sometimes I'll just eat both slices on the Saturday. And like Freeze is about to say, it's cheaper to buy the whole cake, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, Freezy, what do you got? What are
It might
you
be cheaper now, but it's not going to be cheaper in the
You
long
heard
run
that
when you got some
too?
Mm.
You heard
diabetes.
that? I heard it too. What you got, Freezy?
You be missing your pinky toe
Well,
now. Don't be
what
crazy.
we talking about now? We talking about fitness and
All of
eating
it.
right.
Just making better changes and making changes, creating,
Yeah.
better habits, and also oh, and
Something you struggle with.
yeah, and dropping or like trying to break bad habits, and also the mindset that
Mhm.
is required to do so, because without the mind, none of this stuff's happening. Hey Lou, what's going on? Strawberry cake, Brazilian strawberry cake. Ooh.
Well,
Yellow cake with chocolate frosting, gray pill. That is my favorite, and it has to be homemade.
That is delicious. Yeah. Yellow cake with chocolate frosting.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
That's a
one.
good classic.
yeah, I like that too. I like all that shit. But I
Lemon
don't know
cake
if
is
y'all heard my
delicious.
story,
Period.
but I was like almost 300 pounds before.
Oh
So,
yeah, I think he did.
what?
Oh my god, Jay Speed, you are so funny.
Dang,
Yeah.
I guess you must just really be big, huh? They coming for you.
No, they come
Treating
from
you
your
like
boy.
Denzel on training day, huh?
Right. They come for me, Big L. They come from my dome. They do.
Mm.
Okay, e- e- Emmanuel in the chat. No, don't eat all the cake that you want. All right, Freezy. So
Yeah.
you had quite the journey. You said.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was roughly like 285 or something like that.
Wow.
I'm 6'1", so I was kind of way overweight. And so I had got to the point where I was like, enough is enough. And I bought a gym membership. And just like everybody else, I sat on my gym membership for a while. I just felt good that I had one.
Yeah.
And then after a
Yeah.
while, I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna go on the first day. And so the first day turned into the second day and the third day. And then, 5 years later, you know, I basically said I made it a part of my life, right? So the working out thing, I kind of worked out. No pun intended, but yeah. So I don't like to work out, but I made
Right.
it a part of my life, and it's a commitment. So it's like,
You just
I
do
got my
it.
wheels turning. You feel what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
one thing I've never been able to tame was my diet. And I always use the excuse that I'm going to work it off anyway to eat the
Yeah.
cakes and the pies and the cookies and stuff. And I got some friends that they have that problem too. They work out a lot, so they use that as an excuse to eat unhealthy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But what they don't know
Yeah.
is, Breezy, is even though they may look good, they don't know what's going on in those arteries. You know what I mean?
I
The
People
don't
in
know
their
what's
arteries,
going
20s
on in
having
mine.
heart attacks, skinny, 110 pounds, having heart attacks
because they
because
eat just trash
they just
diets.
eating
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, that
When
is
you eat
probably one of
clean,
the biggest myths.
and when you eat clean for a while, like people in the chat, once you start eating clean for a while, give it a
Mm-hmm.
solid month. You go back and try to eat McDonald's. It'll make you want to gag. It's disgusting. It tastes bad. It
Yeah.
literally tastes like fast food. Just
Yeah.
tastes bad. Like I went and tried to. I got like a Whopper for like a
Mm-hmm.
cheat meal or whatever. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
cooking, I was just being lazy, right? So I have one cheat meal a week, not a cheat day, one cheat meal per
Mm-hmm.
week. So oftentimes I won't eat all day until I eat that. Like that'll be the only thing because it's like
I do the
1,900
same
calories
thing
in that whole
because it's
one
gonna be a
meal. You know
cheat
what I mean?
meal.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's 1,900 calories. I don't need shit else, But so I tried. I got a Whopper combo meal. I ate the Whopper and it triggered a migraine. I said, "Yep, this is yeah. I don't need this shit. No, mm-mm.
Yeah, and this is possible even if, everyone viewing and watching this later, even if, you're not to that point, it's okay. It's still possible, and in translation to whatever it looks like for you, but it's making it a, smaller, to a smaller scale, and then compounding that over time. And Freezy, so with the eating the sweets, Chase B says I can deworm you, Mandrell, Drally a lot. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna deworm my cats, and I'm definitely not deworming Mandrell. But Freezy, so with the sweets, what have you tried? You know what? How are you struggling with
I
it?
think I'm addicted.
No, you.
That's
Well,
what.
But you
sugar
are.
You
is
but that
sugar is
you
an
are.
addictive. Sugar is an addictive substance.
It is, but
Man.
don't let that be a reason to not make a change.
Because I was when you started off your story and you started off, you said you were up to 285.
Yeah, about a little
Yeah,
over.
so you were almost 300 pounds. I don't know. I imagine you probably weren't that active. Working out was something
Oh
new for
no.
you. Right. So, you got into the groove of that and you
It
got
was
stuck to
hard.
that and that became part of your lifestyle. So that's the thing when it comes to eating clean. Like people do it for a day or two, maybe even a
Mhm.
week or 2 weeks with these fads and whatnot that they have going on. And then after that, they're like, all right, well, I want some French fries. You haven't given yourself enough time to detox off of that. Like you have to
Yeah.
take into consideration you've been eating these chemicals, these GMOs, these preservatives, this processed food for decades. It's in your body. Like I remember, what was that? A gum stays in your system. It takes like 10 years to
Oh
run
yeah,
through
that stressed
you.
me out when I first heard that.
That's a
Yeah, like
rumor.
that's crazy.
That's a
But
rumor.
Regardless.
Doesn't actually
regardless,
stand.
you don't just wake up every morning and release everything that you ate the day before. Stuff builds up over time. You rewire your brain. You mess with certain signals and sensors.
It's
You have to
going to.
rewire. You have to rewire. You
Yes.
have to detox,
Well,
and it's,
what
it's
made
gonna
me
take a while.
seriously consider changing my diet was I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of him. I started listening to Dr. Sabi a while back before he passed away or whatnot. And he was talking
Mhm.
about what he
That's
was
cute.
talking about, the alkaline diet and how our bodies
Mhm.
are made of electrolytes. It's
Alkaline
electricity.
versus acidic.
Yeah. So, and he was even saying that if you do the right diet, it can even cure extreme cases like insanity and stuff like that, right? And
Cancer, AIDS, all of
I
that.
thought I thought I
See,
thought it
here's the
was just a
thing.
crock of shit, to be honest with you.
We
But
are not doctors on this channel,
We're
Sue.
not.
Just so everyone knows.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not.
and here's the
Mm-mm.
thing,
we're not
but
financial advisors either.
But I
we're
will
not.
tell you
Yeah.
this though.
We're not. No, nor are we nutritionists. So
Folks get caught up on the word diet and intake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a whiskey diet. You know what I'm saying? 2 fingers of whiskey every other day. Consult your doctor. If you need me to put the link, in the chat, you'll see it has a acid. If you had cancer, you had chemo, whiskey. If you
See,
are
this
They
how I
used
start
to use it back
ingesting
in the
this
day,
shit.
right?
no,
I'm about to say
see,
back
the
in the
thing
day,
is, I
that's
can
what gives
always
the
back
kids
that up with
cocaine.
fact. And I consulted my doctor because she tried to play me because she was like, "Yo, how much whiskey are you drinking?" I said, "Well, a finger of whiskey every other day." She's like, "Well, men normally supposed to do 2 fingers of whiskey, but you good." I was like, "Wow."
Oh,
She was like, "Women do 1 finger, men do 2." I said, "Well, you know what I do for a living. I can't be getting down like that." So,
right, right,
but it's
right.
Thursday and I had 2 fingers. But truth be told, if you have high blood pressure,
pause.
diabetes, you need some weight loss, you want to look younger,
Exercise
whiskey,
for sure.
exercise. You got to exercise also, but I would never tell you to stop eating certain things except for fast food. Just eat it in moderation. The key word for the day is moderation.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it depends. My thing is this: if it depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to lose weight, throw the moderation thing out the window.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're doing small steps tonight,
Right.
Mandrell.
Baby
But
steps,
yes,
Right.
baby steps.
Right.
we can definitely talk about it. Want to welcome Dre, of course, and DL Saint and Evan. Don't worry, we're gonna get to you. I saw you in the chat. DL, is that what you want us to call you, or what do you
Uh,
prefer?
yeah, you call me DL. Call me DL. Saying call me DL.
Cool.
Just don't call me late for dinner. All right, just don't do that.
All right, gotcha. What do you have on the topic? Any questions or comments? What you got?
No, and no. I mean, just listening in.
Okay.
diet is extremely important. You know what I mean? And I think especially in our community. I mean, in my household, that was nothing that was talked about. You know what I mean? Coming from from Cincinnati, but our people were from the South. We were always down south and all that, and everything was fried. Everything was fried. Everything was bad for you. Everything was huge portions. Finish your plate. It's like, man, my stomach finna burst open. But
Yeah, like you had to do it.
you had to do. You couldn't leave until you did.
And see, my sister Shushu and I, we were lucky in that regard. Like my mother, she never cooked pork. You know what I mean? We didn't grow up eating a lot of pork or anything like that. So she cooked pork bacon every now and again. My dad grew up eating pork. You know what I'm saying? But my mother, she didn't grow up in there. She it was chicken, beef, but it was nothing really heavy.
Not even ribs.
Yeah, I mean, not pork ribs. No, we ate ribs at a barbecue. It was beef ribs.
Man, we had ham hocks. We had ham hocks, pigs.
Superior.
Yeah, ham hocks, pig feet, chitlins, hog maws, all that, bro. That's why I don't eat pig. I don't eat a lot of pork now, man. Chitlins especially, man. That's all I remember when chitlins was being cooked in the house. Let me out.
I don't eat pork, but I do have a question because it'll explain a lot when everybody talk about diet. When you're cooking red meat, right? Steak, lamb, veal. How do y'all eat your steak?
I don't like this question.
Oh, well, there's a reason why I brought it up because a lot of times we've been given false, wrong information. So for those who eat their steaks well done, you're dying slow. You're dying slow because you have cooked out all the minerals and vitamins out of that steak.
I have heard that. Yeah.
All right, that's true. And the thing is, what you have to understand is the reason why they always say you have undigested red meat in your body is because you overcooked it and your body can't break down because every enzyme in that meat that your body's designed to break down and digest is gone. So it just sits in your stomach. That's why when you get in your 40s and you do your colonoscopy, you have all those polyps. You know what I'm saying? Because you have ingested so many carcinogens, you have polyps, and that may end up being cancerous. You have to understand how to cook. Just because your parents, your grandparents cooked a certain way, don't mean that was the right way.
Big Al's wheelhouse.
Right? My dad is in his 70s, and I just converted him this year. I took him to a steakhouse for Father's Day, and he asked for his steak well done. And I laughed at him. I was like, they're not going to bring you that steak out well done. And he was like, why not? I was like, they don't do that at these restaurants. I'm like, if they going to bring it out medium. And he was like, well, I'm like, that's how you need to eat it. And so he started eating. He's like, this is pretty good. And my dad, he is from Virginia, and he grew up Southern home. But it was a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables around. And my grandma had a garden. What? Virginia not Southern?
No, something that Black Man put up.
Yeah, you're good.
We listening to you.
But yeah, my grandma, on my dad's side of the family, she had a garden, and like literally she would be cooking for us for dinner, going out grabbing vegetables and stuff. My dad is really the spark that got me cooking, but he was always so creative and everything was always so colorful. And so even like when I was in college making the struggle meals, I'm dicing up green pepper and onions and putting them in the eggs. And
yeah.
Like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
right, with your May.
Look, grow your own herbs. That's the thing. Grow your own herbs. I have some lemon balm in the kitchen that I just picked. So easy. Grow your own rosemary. Season like fresh seasoning. Look, there's so much stuff you can do. A lot of people say, well, when you eat right, it's boring. No, it's not. If you know what you're doing.
If you season it right, it is delicious.
Yeah, but how many people really have the time to be in their kitchen?
Everyone does. Well, not everyone, but more people than they think. More people have the time to do it than they realize.
I would imagine that if we took, and then after this, we want to get to E-Man. If we took a some type of allocator of like your time, like yesterday, how did you spend each hour of your day? Let's look at where your time is really going, and I bet you probably have more time than you think. But you just have to prioritize it. It can be done, and there's ways you can make it easier. Me and Big Al are going to be talking about all of this in the coming weeks, for sure. And I'm going to have to, pass it to her for those types of things. But it can be done. It's just sometimes that's the story that we tell ourselves so we don't have to do it, and then we can feel good about not doing it because we don't have the time. You know what I mean, Freezy?
In a lot of cases,
yeah.
it's not true. You can make a meal in less time than you can drive and go pick up something and come back, or wait to have something delivered. Like, everything doesn't have to be a slow cooked 12-hour long all day meal. Like, fry an egg white, put some kale on it, little goat cheese,
some salmon.
Yeah, you good. That's
like
all,
my meal, like my
right
lunch,
there.
like my lunch and dinner freezy.
Yeah.
Once I'm done prepping it, it's a 10-minute cook time.
Yeah, there you go.
The salmon goes from my air fryer to my plate. The vegetables go from my
Air
oven.
fryer's
Because
game
I roast,
changer,
yeah, because
it's like
I roast my vegetables, so they go from my oven to my
Yeah, but
plate.
you got to count
I'm
the
done.
prep time, though. You still
The
got
prep
to count.
time is like what, 10 minutes?
10 minutes. Look, let me tell you something, Cap.
How long do it take you to
Freezy, with my
drive,
schedule,
sit in line?
Freezy,
time
with my
yourself
schedule,
next time you're cooking, Big Al.
Hello, matter of fact, Freezy, I will tell you
Freezy,
this.
we got you.
You could go on my Instagram and see what I cook, because I even go into presentation.
Oh yeah, I forgot you do that, Dre.
You know, think about it. You have the time. Half the time, folks are just sitting down watching TV. You know, sitting on their ass. You could just take time out your day and just do a food prep. Go ahead, get your, you know, everybody go to Chinese restaurants and get the little containers. You could just buy some at Walmart, get the containers, meal prep, and put it in the freezer. Come home, throw it out.
Now that's a good idea.
You don't have to think about it.
Look, they didn't eat properly throughout the day, and now they don't have any energy to get up and cook.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's
like
a good topic. Yeah, yeah.
Freezy. What I'll do is, like, on Sundays, I'll cook a big pot of black beans.
Yeah.
And I have those containers that Dre's talking about, and I put them in. And once they're done, I put them in the containers, let them cool off, cover them up, put them in the refrigerator, and I make a skillet of chana masala. I'm sure Big Al knows what it is. It's an Indian dish with chickpeas, right?
Real good.
Yeah, I make that, and I put that in. I take a cup of it, just a measuring cup.
Oh, you'll eat the same thing for a whole week? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I can.
Man, Mandrell just trying to sound
For me,
fancy,
it's
man.
like every 3 days, and so I gotta switch it up.
Yo,
like
you don't have to eat the same thing every day.
You don't have to.
That's why you
Or like
make
reuse something.
You can buy 1 pack of chicken breast. You can do a chicken wrap. You can do chicken pasta. You can do chicken fried rice. You
put it in an omelet. I don't know.
Yeah,
You can chop it up in a bite. You can chop it up in a. You can chop the chicken breast up into bite-sized pieces.
You don't have to make
put it in
all of the
marinade.
same dishes with the chicken breast. You gotta get creative. But a
you
lot
like
of
avocado?
I love avocado.
No, I was talking to Freeze because I'm trying to give him some easy options. Do you like avocado?
No.
Me neither, but I need to.
I like fried chicken. And,
you don't like?
Yeah, fried in the air fryer.
And cake, cookies.
That
I'm
air fryer chicken.
Oh, by the way, I put the link in the private chat and I put it in the regular chat about 10 benefits of whiskey and which whiskey to buy.
You don't like whiskey either, Coach K?
No, but it's okay. I mean,
no whiskey, no avocado.
I'm a cognac guy, man. What's the benefits of cognac? Somebody
There's
tell me I got all this
too much sugar in it. It's gonna
if
give you a
you're
belly.
working out,
That's
if
why
you're
I
trying
love
to lose weight,
it's gonna give you a belly.
Tequila is the best liquor to drink.
What is you said?
Tequila.
I thought tequila was
tequila is one of the top.
Right.
One of the top 3 is red wine, tequila, vodka, and whiskey.
Yeah, vodka.
Hold on, Jenny.
Hold on. Now we advocating for alcohol.
Yes.
Like
No. So see, here's the thing. No. Only thing I'll advocate for is whiskey because what I did do is I did speak to my doctor and I asked my doctor.
Everyone talk to their doctor. Speak to your doctor.
Yeah, speak to your doctor before
you do any of this.
Right, because my homeboy wife, you know, I'm with her. Her strength, she go for breast cancer. She's constantly going for chemotherapy. Spoke to her oncologist because I told her, like, look, whiskey has oleic acid, which helps oxidize the blood to help it go through chemo. When she spoke to her oncologist, he has her on the whiskey diet. Only after she has her therapy, only after she has her treatment, does she take a shot. That's it. There was a woman in London named Amazing Grace who lived to 124 years old, and they asked her what was her secret. She said whiskey. The link I put up there can be backed by the Food and Drug Association and the American Heart Association, and they'll show you what whiskey, the benefits of it. And remember, I said in the beginning,
100. You said
120 something. You got to look it up online. Amazing Grace.
I'm about to go buy me some whiskey.
And wait,
but look,
I bet you didn't know Reed either.
But you gotta pay.
It's
Listen to the
moderation. I'm
instructions.
not saying
Yeah.
I ain't
Mhm.
saying drink to get drunk.
Oh,
Drink with a purpose.
oh, not
What
with
you
Right.
talk
coke.
about? I'm
Can't we
about to
can't
go
put
pop
coke
a
in it?
bottle.
No, it's
Like
straight. And the
can't
thing
put
is,
it in it.
Proceeding.
That defeats
and
the
I'm just gonna
purpose.
say this one piece.
Oh,
Think
okay.
about it. In the Wild Wild West, in Civil War, when they got shot, what did they pour in their wounds? Whiskey. It was an
Yeah,
antiseptic.
right.
It was an antiseptic. It was a
Still is.
yes, it still is an antiseptic. They use it as
Right.
an anesthesia, and when you have a hot toddy, you put whiskey in it. It's designed. I mean, in the 1920s, right before Prohibition, the only company that they're allowed to make whiskey was Old Forester because they did a test on it and on a single barrel malt, and it had the most antioxidants, and that's the only liquor that was allowed to be created during the Prohibition. Look it up.
All right. We're definitely gonna look that up. That's fascinating. All right. E-Man, hello.
What up,
Good to
E-Man?
see you. Your mic
Hey,
sounds really good, by the way.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, what you got
So,
for us?
oh man, I heard a lot of misinformation. Let's start from the beginning.
Misinformation.
Misinformation on which one? What's
Hold on, just
misinformation?
don't be so offensive.
I
No, I'm
can't.
asking.
If you
If you
Someone clip that. That was so odd. Okay. All right. E-Man,
All right,
what you got?
first, diets doesn't work. It is
Yeah.
it is proven diets don't work. You actually got to be a way of life of the type of foods that you're eating.
Yeah.
The great thing, one thing that Mandrell said that was correct is that a lot of things that we can take out of our diet. Like I never ate pork. My diet is really simple. It is fish, chicken, and vegetables.
Yeah.
Same here.
I don't touch any of the red meat. I don't touch like if it's a special occasion, I hit like a goal in my business. My wife might want to go out, but I'm typically a sushi type eater.
I
The
love
second
sushi.
thing, second thing is
Wait, no one disagrees with any of that, but go on.
I haven't finished yet. I'm about to get to it. First of all,
Okay.
the one thing that our body need that most people are not taking enough of is water. People are
Oh,
not
yeah.
really
I drink water.
people are not really hungry. They're really thirsty.
Yeah.
And if you
Mhm.
drink more, if you drink a lot more water, what happens is you actually eat a lot less, right?
Right. With your
We
hormone
should,
levels and yeah.
we should completely take alcohol out of our diet altogether. I don't care if you're a vegan and you drinking, I promise you it is kind of it goes completely against the whole thing of it. So when we start talking about alcohol have its benefits, yes, but it also have its detriments to the body too.
In
So
moderation.
Blasphemy.
Here's the thing, E-Man. I understand. I see
I'll
exactly where
let
you're
you
going.
go. Go ahead, doctor.
I see
Go ahead.
exactly where you're
You're right.
going because you are correct. But it's what you're saying, even about water, you can't drink. You overdrink water. You're doing damage to your body as well.
Yeah. Most
Everything,
people aren't drinking enough, but yeah.
everything in moderation.
Like baby
I'm not saying-
carrots, eat your weight in baby carrots. What's gonna happen? Probably not good.
Right. So what I'm saying
Moderate.
is
still water, drink spring water.
true. Especially don't drink Dasani with all that sodium in it. Nobody's
Ooh, that's
advocating
Dasani
for.
is pool water.
You also gotta look at personality. If you have an addictive personality, then you need, don't even indulge. But you're gonna be addicted to whatever you try. What I'm
But
saying is, I'm
okay,
not
go
telling
ahead,
someone
Jay.
to sit up there and drink a whole bottle of whiskey. I said a finger of whiskey every other day. But if you look and you speak to your doctor, he's going to tell you daily. I don't do daily. I do every other night, and I do 2 fingers of whiskey, 1 glass. But what you have to understand is you're looking on the discipline of a person who's drinking to get drunk.
Dre, you are the whiskey
Connoisseur.
yeah, for
Connoisseur,
real.
yeah.
Listen, I'm saying you the whiskey advertiser tonight. I'm going to
Oh
say
no,
Right.
okay, no, there's something else I was going to advertise
There
also
you go,
other than
DL.
that
All right.
because
Before
he
you
doesn't
go
do
to
red
your
meat,
next
but
one,
I'm
let
an
me at least
advocate
finish
for
mine.
salmon. I'm an
Because you
advocate for
cut me off,
salmon.
Alfred. Go ahead,
I'm
Trey.
an advocate for salmon. I'm a damn sure advocate for chicken breast. I'm an advocate. I'm not really an advocate for chicken thighs because it's I like dark meat, but there's a lot of grease with it, even when you put it through the air fryer. So I'm all about clean eating, but I'm also looking at some of the benefits of other things as well. I look at it as a holistic approach. opposed to just sitting up there.
For
You know,
sure.
right? I like my lamb, I like my veal, but I love my salads just as much. I got some pickled onions that I just pickled in there. You know what I'm saying? I do it all, but I'm not stuck to one particular way because I know my body and I know how my body reacts to certain things. It
Yeah.
may be different for other people, but that's why I said consult your doctor and figure out what's going on with you.
Yeah.
All right, so first, if we're talking to someone that's overweight, because when I was listening to the show, it looked like we was trying to give people who was overweight or people who was maybe having challenges setting that. So if we look at those people, the number one thing, I cut weight every year. So we do something called the Daniel fast, where it's 21 days and it's a cleanse of just water. You might eat fruits and vegetables, but we mostly do just water, right? And the number one thing that we have saw is if a person cut alcohol out of their life, they lose the weight the fastest, right? Alcohol is one of the number one causing of people to be able to keep sugars in the body. And
Probably people overdoing it though, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because it's bloat, right?
So that's still
alcohol
important for
bloat.
people out there who,
Not
But
as
it
It
much
also
either.
it also depends on what Dre's trying to articulate, but it depends on the type of alcohol you're consuming. For example, if you drink beer,
Right.
you never seen a wino with a beer gut.
right.
It just doesn't happen because completely different ingredients. You have
Right.
someone who drinks red wine, okay, you have to watch that because there's
Lot
sugar
of
in that
sugar.
as well. But whiskey, there's no sugar. It's
Well,
just
let's let
tequila.
the
No sugar,
simple
no
nature of the
carbs.
way. Yeah, the simple way is empty calories. Yeah, but that's why like Dre's like, okay, one glass every couple of days, and there are health benefits to it if it is like consistent,
In
but
moderation.
in moderation. If it's every other day or once every 3 days, cool. But but yeah,
And
but overall, if it's a person who has an alcohol problem, E-Man's absolutely right. If they're doing like when my man DL drinks, okay, cognac, yeah, dude, that's a health problem.
I only drink it. God wills it.
Yeah, that's a health problem.
I want to
So
say this.
actually, E-Man's right. Cutting alcohol out of your diet will help you lose weight faster. He's
Yeah.
I want to say this too. Your diet truly depends on your activity as well. I know E-Man said he eats meat and vegetables primarily, right? But that wouldn't work for me because I do an immense amount of cardio. I run like uh on a treadmill 5.5 miles an hour up like a steep incline.
yeah,
I
so
might
it's
run
gonna be
2
different.
miles. Yeah. So that diet that E-Man is on, I would shrink to an oblivion. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I
no, so
need my carbs. I need
so
carbs to
Well,
maintain.
some
the
veggies
muscle.
will give you carbs. E-Man, what you got?
So the point that I'm making is if we go back to how the body was designed, it's actually designed to burn fat, right? When we start, the
Right.
reason I asked you about avocados is it's good fat and it's called bad fat. So when you start talking about the oily type fats, that's something totally different. But what happened is once you completely get the carbs out your body, you'll naturally start burning these healthy fats. And these
Yeah, your fat
healthy
stores.
Yeah, and these healthy fats actually is going to give you a different level of energy compared to what carbs will give you. Yes, you can maintain a carb diet, but once you start burning what your body was designed, so how our body was designed, when we put fat on is because if you go back in long time ago, right?
Primitive times, yeah.
Yeah, if you go back a long time ago, what happened is we might not eat every single day, so we'll put fat
Right.
on the body and we'll burn that fat. And these people was hunting, these people was fighting lions, so they wasn't like getting into this
Sitting
little
around.
small figure and
Right.
going away. So no, our body is actually designed to burn fats. We have moved in America to a carb-based world, which we
Yeah.
do not have to have.
You can dine
people don't consume
in
enough
versus
protein.
dining out. Yeah. If you, with the fast stores, that you have, you can look at it as literally dining in inside versus dining out but you have to know your body. This is, this is, down the line, but you're right. And it is amazing too, especially when we think about people, way, years ago. But What else? What else we got?
Hey, real quick, shout out to Black Man Unfiltered, Big Al. Pleasure to meet you, love. First time I've ever seen you. Thank you. I'm DL saying, and Coach K. And the reason I want to say that, if no one heard anything tonight on this platform was being talked about tonight, remember what we talked about, the food prep. Remember that, because that's the key, y'all. I mean, I can make pancakes or French toast from scratch with some turkey sausage, and eggs. And the time it takes you to go to IHOP and order that, I've been finished everything, cleaned everything up. I done ate. I'm sitting around and I'm ready to go out there and do some walking. So just that alone, I think, is invaluable, and we need to hear that in our community, because we're not doing it. Food prep, straight up, y'all. Everyone was right about the food prep thing. It doesn't take much time to cook. But we're all so busy with our lives, our children, if you got children, or out there womanizing if you one of them type dudes. If you out there, whatever you doing, I don't have time to cook. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It doesn't take long. Brother Mandrell was right. So just thank y'all so much for that, because
Thanks for coming up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Mandrell said he's going to pay me for this anyway, man. I want my money, bro.
Hey,
You know what? I would much rather somebody say I can't cook than
What's
say
up, E-Man?
I don't know. I don't have the time to do it. That's way more understandable than saying, "Oh, I don't have time." Just say you can't cook. If you can't cook, somebody who does.
You can figure it out.
Right. YouTube knows how to cook. Get on YouTube.
Right. We all have YouTube in our hands,
Let me tell you something.
Start small.
So Freezy, and I'm not telling you something I think. So when I was in the military, we did a lot of my job required us to do a lot of ruck marches. It was 12-mile. 12 just
3 hours.
We walked a lot.
12 miles to 3 hours.
Is that like backpacking, ruck marching? What's that? Is that like backpacking? What is that?
So yeah,
he doesn't know anything about that,
right? But what happened is I tried both of these. I had like a high starch diet where I would do like rice, potatoes, and then I did a high fat diet. What I learned is that I had more energy, especially towards the end of that, because the carbs burned a lot faster than the fat burned doing my workouts and different things like that.
But I would get real skinny with that, wouldn't I?
Matter of fact, got a question for you, E-Man. Are you a mesomorph, ectomorph, or endomorph?
Some meta types have been widely debunked. You can't use those anymore. Yeah, they've been debunked. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Widely.
E-Man, I'm saying if I'm trying to achieve a certain size, that the diet matters, though, right? The diet matters if you're trying to look a certain way.
I'm a big advocate.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm a big advocate of like if a person's bulking out to take protein shakes, to take supplements too, because I think those are some of the things we try to get everything from food, and sometimes that we need to get a little bit more to be able to get more defined, in my opinion. But I guess it depends on your body.
Yeah, these are things like, whatever your goals are, utilize people that can help you. Like, don't say, I don't know how to do this, without finding the answer. You can definitely find the answer. There's so many people. Just this show alone, thank you, Black Man Unfiltered, that we can, be on this, channel and talk about these things. We only have a little bit time left, about, 10 minutes. So if we can just go around with some of our final thoughts, some of the takeaways, and also everyone in the chat, thank you for being here. Put in the chat if you have anything you want us to talk about for future shows, and we'll take a look at that, or email us. I'm sure our information is somewhere in the chat or in the description. Thank you, Jenny. But what are our final thoughts? What do we have?
So I just give my final thoughts really quickly. First thing is get a personal trainer. I have a personal trainer. I done had a personal trainer. Like people look at me and it's like, how did you cut so much weight in a certain period of time? And in reality, what it is that a lot of people go to the gym and they try to figure it out. And I think that's how a lot of people get hurt. But if you sit down with somebody now you don't have to stay with a personal trainer forever. You can get with a personal trainer. You can be able to get a plan. You do that plan until that plan might become normal. And then you can go back to them to create another plan. But I think what we do is we don't give enough light to the people who have studied this, who have been educated in this, to be able to really be able to tone our body the way that we want to. So I say, don't just try to figure it out. Get your gym membership. Stop being cheap. Get you a personal trainer and build a plan for you if you want to get into your ideal shape. So that's what I say from the workout point of view.
That is a great tip for sure. If you want to be better at your finances, don't become bankers aren't necessarily good at finances, but you know what I mean? Don't become a banker. Surround yourself with people that do this. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Can't do it by yourself.
yeah.
And that's the thing. A lot of folks want to do it by themselves. You just have to understand your body. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I know
And be honest.
I know I could drop weight. I've dropped down as far as the heaviest I've ever been was when I was playing football was 200. The lightest I've ever been was 160. And right now I'm like 170. And I'm comfortable there and I can maintain it. I know what foods will inflate my weight. I know what foods will keep me where I'm at. And just a discipline and just know your body. What may work for E-Man may not work for me, may not work for a scan, but whatever E-Man's doing is working for him and he's going to stand by it because he's seeing the positive results. Somebody else may try it and it may not work and be discouraged. Folks just need to understand, learn your body first. Find out if you have diabetes, cholesterol, and find out and talk to your doctor. Before you do anything, talk to your doctor, have them lay out a plan. Then go to the gym, like E-Man, get with your personal trainer, let them know what your doctor has said in reference to what you got going on, and they can devise a plan to help you lose weight and help you move forward and be healthier and fit. That was mine.
Thank you. That's so good. DL Saint, any final thoughts?
Oh yeah, I got tons of final thoughts. So this is a great conversation. As brothers and sisters, I hope y'all listen to this. I mean, we've been eating poorly as a people since our ancestors were brought over here, right? That's where all that came from, right? Just eating the leftovers, eating the scraps, and working miracles with it. So changing your diet is probably going to be the hardest thing you ever did. Right, but you can't just do it for you. You're doing it for your children. We're trying to break the cycle. And now, like, thank goodness we have YouTube. Thank goodness we have, books for those old folks like me who still like to read a book. You know what I mean? Thank goodness we have folks coming together to have these conversations because it needs to happen. Not for us. It helps for us, but really for our children moving forward. It's expensive to eat right. It just is, but you got to figure it out. You got to make some sacrifices. You know what I mean? I understand. Like when I was in the military, when I went through airborne school, one of the things they told us, they were like, look, life is a death sentence. So you might as well jump out this aircraft. Right? That's just one of the things they told us.
Sure did.
Having fun, you know what I mean? Just having fun with us. But while you are living, you want to be as healthy as you can. You don't want to be like me and Mandrell. As you get old, everything starts hurting. A lot of that has to do with my poor diet. You know what I mean? There's a lot. I mean, yeah, we were hard on our bodies, but a lot of that has to do with our poor diet. Make that change now, y'all. Make that change again. Thank y'all for doing this. This is what's up. You know what I mean? I'm so impressed with this side of YouTube. I don't know where the hell I've been. I'm glad I found it. And
Thanks for being here. Love it. All right, Freezy Mandrell, some quick last thoughts.
Yeah, I learned valuable information this evening. I really thank you guys. I learned that just merely popping microwave popcorn does not count as meal prep. And
No.
on the contrary, with E-Man, I myself, when I started back working out in 2015, I never had a trainer all up until this point. It might have helped more if I had a trainer.
Yeah, hit me up.
When I first started
Friends to
working
help.
out, right, I did trim my diet. I was on a more of a protein and vegetable diet, just like E-Man said. And I was able to cut down weight faster at the time. But as I, started making my body look more ideal, I started getting, and then through stresses of life, I started getting more lazy with my diet. I started indulging more in the sugars and the cakes and the cookies and the ice cream, because I always leaned on the excuse that I was going to work it off anyway. But that's not good. I think Mandrell said it earlier, that just because you might be pleased with your outside doesn't mean that your insides is or maybe Big Al said that, but yeah, but this is one thing I'm happy I participated in the show, because I am going to make a conscious effort to change my diet, because as of some of I just lost my mother about a couple of months ago. she had very poor health, and it's a big eye opener. I was her caregiver, and that's part of the reason why my diet went out the window as well, because it was just very stressful, But yeah, I really appreciate you guys this evening, and I'm going to make a I personally think that your diet is more important than the working out part. I think so.
It is
Yeah, technically it
100%.
is, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
I
Thanks
think
for
diet
being
is
here,
like
Susie.
80% or 70%.
Yeah.
80. Diet is 80%. The working out is only 20%. And what discourages people is when they see how much work goes into the working out, they're like, "This is just 20%." Like, yeah.
I think that whiskey like
You're doing it for the
65%.
wrong reason.
But my final thoughts would be this: E-Man did things. Sounds like E-Man's done things the right way. He hired a trainer.
Yeah.
That's number one. Save up the money, pay the $400 for a month. That should be $420 should be enough for 12 sessions, which is 3 times a week, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes, pay the money and at least get educated. He's right also. And I tell my clients from the get-go, listen, you're going to be with me for a while, but you're not going to stay with me. They say, why
Right.
not? You're not supposed to.
Yeah,
You're supposed to
graduate.
be learning what I'm teaching you so that way you can do it on your own. If you want to stay, cool, teach you some other stuff, but the formula doesn't change. Calories in versus calories out, quality of food, and working out.
Just get moving.
Just
Get moving for
Yeah.
sure. And then you can build up from there.
Also,
Thank
Coach
you.
K, I think Mr.
Oh, go
Bennett
ahead.
and I are gonna trying to put together 2 things. I'm trying to put together a show where Mr. Bennett and I go over good personal trainers versus bad ones, how to recognize
good.
the difference.
You guys should
'Cause I see-
reenact some.
Yeah, because I see horrible ones all the time.
Yeah.
Giving bad information. And also in the process of cutting, you know what I'm saying? So next year, I'm recording all my workouts and what I eat. So I think next year, I don't know, Black Man Unfiltered and I will put something together where you'll see the process of me losing 60 pounds.
Oh, that's gonna be good. YouTube is so good for that type of stuff. There's so much. That'll be great, Mandrell. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for coming up. I think Jenny, are you gonna show a quick clip? Let's see if she's gonna do it.
No clip.
I can't. I don't.
No
Are you
clip.
serious?
Hey, but real talk, I'm gonna say this and go. Just a hard fact, hard stat: 75% of Americans are either overweight or obese. Real talk. I think the obesity rate is something around 42%. So
Kids too.
This conversation right here is needed. Again, I can't thank y'all enough. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Black Man Unfiltered. I gotta run, y'all. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up. Thanks, Dre.
Yeah,
Thank
have
you
a
so
good one.
much.
No
You
problem.
too. Thank you. Everyone, thank you in the chat. Thanks for being here. What do you think for our first show, Big Al? What do you think?
I had so much fun. When Dewayne hit me up and told me about the idea, I already, like we said yesterday, I'm like, I think this is such a broad topic and it's so necessary. There's so many things about diet and mental health and what we consume and how it's connected to our physical and mental health that people just don't know and they don't talk about. And luckily, I was able to be exposed to a lot of resources and experiences that allowed me to be able to spread some of my awareness to the people that I know. But it's doable. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how long you've been down or in a bad position, whether it be mentally or physically. You can make a change. It literally takes one day to change the rest of your life. And that doesn't mean that your life is going to change overnight, but you can start the change.
You decide,
With the personal training, I definitely would recommend that. I worked out, I danced, I did taekwondo, I did all these things when I was younger. And so I'm like, I know how to work out. I can work out. But when I got my personal trainer, I got pushed to a level that I never knew existed. And eventually I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can do this on my own. But you just have that extra person to hold you accountable. Don't try to do it on your own. I think that's when people get easily discouraged and fail and struggle. And I'm happy that we can be a network and an extended family. I hope to a whole bunch of people, and we can be held accountable and vice versa. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Yes, thanks for
This
having
was
me.
oh, of course, I'm so excited to do this show with you. Thanks again, everyone. We'll definitely be sharing lots of good stuff. And Big Al said it, you know, she ended it perfectly. You know, you can make a change if you want to. You just have to make that decision and then you go from there. Yeah, it's just that simple. Just decide and then you're on your
And be
way.
consistent. Be
Yep.
consistent, be patient, be realistic, and you'll be all right.
Yep. Yep. She said it. All right, guys. Thanks again. And be sure to like the video, subscribe. Until next time. See
Bye,
ya.
guys.